G'day, legends. It's Jai, that Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com today, tonight, wherever you are in the world. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined by a powerhouse of heavy music, Dez Fafara, of DevilDriver and Cold Chamber. I've been listening to their music for as long as I can probably remember. DevilDriver are heading back to Australia this July alongside the mighty Cradle of Filth for a massive run full of headline sets from both of them. I know you guys have absolutely been killing it with this tour in the US as well, and you have a new album on top of that, which is releasing at the same fucking time you're in Australia. Strike and Kill, landing July 10 through Napalm Records, and the lead single is out, Dig Your Own Grave. Dez, absolute honor to have you on, mate.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man. And well said. Yeah, we took this tour around the United States and it did incredible. I mean, we had people all over the world going, bring it here, bring it there. The thing is Cradle is so different than DevilDriver. DevilDriver is so different than Cradle, but that's what makes it work, man. It's like it's an incredible time to come in and watch. Like if you have never seen Cradle, come on, you're gonna love it. If you've never seen DevilDriver and you're coming to see Cradle, come on, you're gonna love it. You're gonna have a good time. So yeah, we can't wait to come on down under. And last time we came down and released a record down there, we had an incredible chart position with you guys. And so we've repeated that, and we'll be dropping the record when we're down there. Yeah,
Yeah, well, Australians have always had a pretty big love affair for Cold Chamber and DevilDriver, for you and
it's
your
true.
music as well, man. We've always been behind you. I remember seeing you back in 2011, as I was saying, at that Soundwave performance. And it's funny how it all kind of lines up because AJ's bringing you guys back here. But that Soundwave performance, even then, man, the crowds were just going fucking mental for you, man. I've been waiting 20 odd years to catch you again, man. Since that, or 10 years, sorry, since that 2011 performance, man. I've had so much going on, dude. Danny was talking about how exciting it is and how this being the biggest tour they're bringing over as well. But for yourself, man, like these places you're playing, Highness Street Music Hall, the Astor, the Forum, the Enmore, the Tivoli, they're all great venues as well.
Yeah, they're great venues and tickets are going quick. So I will tell you guys, if you want to come, I would not wait. Don't sleep on this one. That's for sure. Right. And I know that we're going up against a bunch of tours that are coming, but this thing is really unique, man. And I don't know if you'll see DevilDriver and Cradle again together, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talked about bringing it to the UK as well. So who knows what's going to happen there, but we have a great time touring together and I have a great time when I come down under. And like you said, AJ is a very close family friend. And about Soundwave, I mean, I very much missed that festival. That gave me everything that I have, really, coming down there and doing those fests. So we can't wait to do it, man. And the single has been doing incredibly well. The video, we've got another single coming in June with a video, and then we've got another one coming in July, right as soon as we drop the record, and we'll be down with you guys at that point.
Yeah, the first taste of the new album is Dig Your Own Grave. I love the fucking start to it. Get to digging, mate. It's a fucking killer track. The title alone has a lot of weight to it. It's a kick-ass track straight off the gate. Tell us about that single, man, as the first statement
Thank
from
you, man.
Strike
I
and
mean, look,
Kill.
the single, I mean, when I first got the music, I was just intrigued by what we were writing. And I think that everybody knew it was time to kind of go back to start a little bit. I've had Alex, my guitar player, and Davi, my drummer, been with me a very long time now, actually. Got my original bass player back after, I don't know, a 12, 15-year hiatus. He's been gone. So him back in writing, and then got Gabe as well, who produced the record and is playing guitar. But once we started writing, we all kind of said, what's the direction? And I said, look at the logo, man. Like the logo will tell you what we fucking need to write. Like, period. And even for myself. So when I got the first 3 or 4 tracks, I was just like, I was blown away. I was like, okay, this is where we want to go. And I started making voice notes for everybody, sending it. And they came back about the voice notes and said, look, don't make a change. You're going the right direction. And it just started to really fall in place, man. Like, I feel blessed to have this group of guys around me at this time in my life, after everything I've been through in life, that this is happening, right? And I think that watching people come to the table with this first single, and I really don't read comments and shit, right? I don't put myself online like that, but in my ear is my manager, is my label, are my bandmates, and they're like, people are loving this. And I go, great,
Yeah.
let's give them more of the same. So the next single that's coming is a very old school, almost first, second record old school. And that just came out. We didn't decide to like, let's go back to start. We just said, let's write something heavy and groovy like what we are. And that's what came out. So I think people are really going to enjoy the second and the third single. But the best thing is this, when you get the record, you're going to listen to it its entirety, and at the end, you're going to be like, I wish we had more. But there's already 13 tracks,
13
man.
tracks on there. That's what I was looking, dude. That's a massive fucking album, man.
Yeah, you know, I mean, even the label said, look, we're good with 11. And I said, okay, these other two songs, you want to leave them off? And they were like, oh, fuck no. I said, well, then there you go. Like, if people are going to spend money, like, let's give them their money's worth. And I think that's what we did with 13 tracks.
Well, that's something DevilDriver's always done, man. You've always come out of the fucking gate with these big, massive albums, and you're talking about the difference in sound between Cradle of Filth, but you also have a lot in fucking common. When DevilDriver come out, what, 2003, man, I was immediately drawn to the groove metal elements, the black and death elements in it as well. There were so many different elements in it that sit so fucking well with Cradle. He's saying you're different, but she's also so much alike, and you're really good friends, and you're managing the band as well. So there's so much going on. It's a busy time for you at the moment.
Yeah, man. Look, I mean, the thing is it just makes for a good pairing, man.
Yeah,
That
yeah, dude.
Devil Driver thing, you know what I mean? It just makes for a good pairing. And you know, we've got a lot of punk rock in us. Like, if you
Yeah.
really listen, you'll see it. I
Well,
come from that.
the album cover also has that punk rock feel to it straight away. You look at it, dude.
Absolutely, man. At 100%. If you look at that cover and you say, "Show me a 1980s punk rock cover," cover, you'll see that in it. Right? He's wearing the leather jacket, and the pins on the leather jacket, so you know, are all the names and titles of the songs, except for one that says "Ha ha ha."
Oh,
And that was
dude.
me. That was me going, "Oh yeah, watch this now. Here we come." You know what I mean? So I think, look, people are going to love this record. I love everything from the artwork to the music that I was given. I let the guys choose, the song arrangements, like, what's going to go first on the record, even the set list, what sets do you guys want to play? You know what I mean? And it's good for me to have a powerful team behind me because I can sit back and go, no, you tell me what you want to play. You tell me the order of the songs on the record. You guys tell me if you like the visuals that I've come up with, right? And it's a powerful tool to be able to let that happen and to listen, man. You got two ears and one mouth. Learn to listen more. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I certainly did. And the first time that I listened to the record in its entirety was about 2 weeks ago, and we were going through the mountains over here in California. I had no single or signal on my phone, which for me is a miracle. And I was like, great. I got no phone calls for 45 minutes, and we put the record on. And when it was done, I actually said to my wife who was driving, I go, "That's it?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's it, man. You guys got 13 tracks." And I was like, "I want more." So that's a really good thing, I think, for sure to have. And this thing is back on track. And wait till you see it live, man. It is a no nonsense throwdown. Like, yeah,
I
yeah,
can't wait, dude, because the album is going to drop around the same time. So it's going to be obviously a real strike and kill heavy set, which I'm looking forward to, but also mixing in
yeah.
some classics. It's a tough place to be after so many albums trying to pick out a set list as well. So I don't blame you for handballing it off a little bit as well.
Yeah, I mean, what I did is just say, take a pick.
Yeah.
You got plenty of records to choose from. And they did. They chose, the obvious ones that people want to hear, that if you don't play, you're going to hear about it. And then some other like really deeper cuts that we haven't played in probably 10, 15 years. Right. And then when we come down and see you guys, we're going to play songs for you guys that no one else is going to hear until videos come out or what have you. So we're getting the set list all worked up now. I go on Sunday. I have rehearsal in Los Angeles for this. Then we play a couple festivals, and we're just really preparing for this. We're going to have long rehearsals before we come down under.
Yeah, I also want to shoot off a couple of subjects left to field, man. I want to talk
Right.
about the work you do with mental health in the community, man, because I talk about it a lot in a lot of interviews. I've done 720 odd interviews and I've talked about it a lot, man. I love that personal positive thoughts page you've got there with Dr. Scott, man. I really love the conversations about mental health and the conversations that are had through your page and other people bringing this up in the community because it really is important. I've gone through massive change and music and mental health, especially in the metal community, is something we need to talk more about because as a young
Agreed.
lad, music was something we'd always come to, and going through tough times, it's like music
Yeah.
is that thing you lean on. So to have that safe space and you talking about this is really, really amazing what you're doing, dude.
Thank you, man. I mean, like I took a vacation from that. We
Yeah.
built it up to about 17, 18,000 followers at one point.
Yep.
And I took a couple years off. And I tell people why when I came back on about a week ago, which is like the well had run dry. I had to go through a lot of stuff with my wife, cancer twice, COVID. COVID almost killed me. Then I had vertigo, ended up fucking in the ambulance in the emergency room, had, some other stuff go on that I just had to like get shit together before I could give anybody any kind of positive anything
Yep.
really. I had to
Yep.
keep it together for my family. But here's the thing. My age group and how I was raised was, shut the fuck up, pull up your big boy pants, don't complain, and get after it, right? Well, at a certain point that's good, but then you realize that, like, oh, suicide is high for men because they have no one to talk to. Their mental fucking deteriorates and they have no one to talk to, or they feel bad, they feel less, they feel low about saying, hey, I got mental issues. Hey, I'm really down. Hey, I'm depressed, which actually means you need deep rest, right? When you're depressed, you need deep rest. So if you're watching this now and you're feeling me, then try to listen. But the reason I brought Scott, Dr. Scott, in is because I had some people coming to me going, yeah, well, I feel suicidal. And I've been through a lot of suicides in my family with a lot of my friends. And that's when I said, okay, I am not clinically trained. And at this point, it's even probably illegal for me to say anything to someone
Yeah.
that's coming to me talking about suicide. So we got Dr. Scott involved, and good thing, because then a bunch of shit happened with me where I fell off the channel and he kept it alive for several years, man, and
Yeah.
he's a trained professional. He goes to work, he gets paid for this. He doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to sit at home and do these videos, but he does, man, because he wants to lift people up. And that's why I started it, because I feel like people need to be lifted up. And if you get a guy like me who's been through a lot in life, left home at an early age, fucking, went through a lot in life, and you can hear it from me
Yeah.
of what I've been through and what you can come through. Like the topic that I brought up a couple days ago on there was betrayal.
Yep.
And I said,
Yeah.
hey, Dr.
100%.
Scott, let's get into it. Like everybody gets betrayed. You know what I mean? Like once or twice, 10 times in life, who knows? I said, let's bring this up. And then, he came back actually last night and the night before with some videos about it. And even I learned a great deal about letting go or getting over shit.
Yeah.
Right. And I have a big, like, I have a sign. I'm in my studio right now. I have a sign in my studio that just says, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's the hardest thing mentally for people to understand. Like, oh, I just got fired. It is what it is. Move on. My partner just cheated on me. I got to move out. It is what it is. Move on.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how do you move on? Which is cool because Dr. Scott, he broke it all down on how to do that. Right. So yeah, if I can give back, I'll definitely try to do that in life. I mean, it's why I'm a Freemason. It's why
Yeah.
I got into to being a Mason is because I was doing a lot of charity work, just not putting it out there, and then wanted to do more. And someone said, well, the Masons that's all they do is charity work. And so now
Yep.
I find myself, at Lodge on a Wednesday night doing, food drives, and at Lodge on a Friday night scheduling, big things that we're going to do Saturday that's giving back to the community. Like, and I find reaching down, giving to people is the best thing you can possibly do, for yourself, for your heart, and then to earn wings. When we all die and the great leveler comes for you, which it
Yeah.
will happen, you probably get a 2-second rewind
Yep.
and it's going to all play in front of you. Everything you've ever done. You're going to feel all the emotions that you made other people feel, that they made you feel. And I just feel like earning wings while we're here in this physical fleshy fucking thing that's not even real. Like this is not
Yeah.
real. I feel like when you die and you step away and you look at yourself, you're gonna be like, oh shit, why did I take all that so seriously?
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's because you're in it right now. If I don't work, I won't eat. If I don't do this, there's a consequence, right? But in the real world that we're in here in these physical bodies, I think it's essential to use your spirit to give back to people.
Yeah.
And so I tend to give of my time through that channel. And I'm real proud of what we, excuse me, what we built it to. And I understand when I left, we lost about 10,000 people. So we've gained about 2,000 people in the last week with me just being back. So
Isn't
I
that
just
funny
want,
how that goes? How people are so fickle in society, man. And also, I want to. I'm like I had stage 4 cancer in 2023, dude. I'm two
oh,
years
I'm
in
so
remission as
sorry. I'm
well
so
now. No,
sorry.
no, I love that we're able to have these conversations about cancer because that's another thing we need to be able to talk more about life, death, and appreciating what we have while we're fucking here and giving back while we're on this earth. I love that message with all of that as well, dude, and a big fuck cancer as well, dude.
I'm glad you're fucking surviving, man. You know, it's hard to go through something like
Ah,
that. If you've got a strong mental state, good doctors, you're taking the right things, your body can heal itself, right? I mean, I believe in fasting as well. Like fasting helps clean your cells
yep.
out, clean your body out. Like do research on how to not get cancer. And then if you do the research on how to beat it, obviously. And I'm glad you're here with us, man. You got more space and time on this earth to
Oh,
talk to people and to give them love and to bring them into interviews with me and everybody else that you're talking to. And that's we never know why we're here, right? Like, and at one point I just looked around my house and I said, my wife has been through this. We've all been through COVID. I've been in the hospital. I've had a couple betrayals and some things go on with
yep.
me where I really realized, like, when I was down, when I was out, who didn't call me, who fucking didn't check on me. And so my list got large, my fucking circle got small. And what I realized is, okay, man, I want to make sure that I'm mostly here for my family first and my good friends first. After that, cool. I'll let myself out there a little bit, but I'm much more protected
Yeah.
because of what I went through and not having that daily call like, hey, how are you, man? How are you? You know, and it's odd, right? When you're doing well, when you're doing great things. I mean, I just got it now. I just got a phone call, a guy I haven't talked to in like 6 years, and said, oh man, I saw the video, man. You're doing great. Hey, let's catch up, man. I would love to see you. My first fucking sentence, man, was like, where the fuck you been?
You been, yeah. Where you been the last six
Oh,
years?
bro, I've been doing this. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm fucking asking you. Like,
Yeah.
where you been, man?
You
Like,
notice
you
when you're
haven't
in your hard times, dude. When I was going through what I was going through, I had a lot of people drop off, and coming out of it, more people drop off, and you really work out who's fucking there, dude. But the music was always there for me. Like I was able to give back to bands like yourself, chatting to all these amazing bands from Cradle to Dragpool and everybody in fucking between, while
yeah,
while going through that process as well, and it really fucking helped. And you were able
good.
to see who was there for you, you know?
Good, man. I mean, look, we're a music family. Like, we own 350 vinyl.
Yep.
Like, we woke up this morning, my wife put on, I've had a Sabbath album running for like a week. My wife came down, put on Sabbath. Next thing I raised was The Cure, right? And then I just got, I kind of old Ride the Lightning on vinyl. I've never owned it on vinyl. I just got that actually today, with an old Steve Martin fucking record, actually, the comedian.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I know
Right.
Steve
And I
Martin,
just
bro.
like, and that,
Same
like,
age.
he's like, he like just threw it in because I bought this expensive fucking vinyl. And I told my wife, cool, well, tonight we got metal and we got comedy. So let's eat dinner. I've got to go in the studio and rehearse. I got to do a DevilDriver set and a Cold Chamber set today. I've been rehearsing daily in my studio because behind me here I have a booth.
Yeah.
So my neighbors don't call the police and think that fucking, so, because I'm in here screaming my ass off. But the thing is music gets you through, right? Like, when I was a young punk rock kid, I was into psychobilly, punk rock. Like, I only got into metal because I found Motorhead and found out that they were a metal band, right? I thought they were a fucking punk rock band.
Yeah.
And music has always gotten me through life. At the best times, the worst times, music is always there for you. And then to go back to the feel of, hey, where were you? Like, I think life offers you these dark, dark opportunities in life where darkness surrounds you, for you to show more light through the darkness and to get rid of people who don't call and check on you. And then you can actually say, hey, man, like, you used to come to my house and surf, or we've toured together, or I took you around the world, or I loaned you money for your first house, or, right, where were you? Right. And unless they have a story of, oh, I was buried up to my head in the mud,
Yeah.
I got put in jail, whatever it was, right? I don't really take it kindly. I just say, cool. I answered the phone. I said hello. I'm saying my piece to you. Don't consider us enemies, but we're not friends.
Yeah.
And if I run into you, I'll fist bump you, but I'm not going to sit and have conversation, bro, because life is way too short, especially at my age. So I want to be around people who are loving and caring and giving. And I've seen a fair amount of fucking betrayal in the last 2, 3 years from people I work with, people I've tried to help out of fucking situations, and all of a sudden, wait, you're turning on me? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
I just gave you hours of my fucking life, on the phone with you, and now all of a sudden, so you got to learn from those things and have those things make you a better person,
Yeah.
so you can be better to other people. That's where I'm at in life.
Yeah. Also, quickly, I got a minute, man. I know you're heavily into riding, dude, with all these tours, man. Is there anywhere you want to go back and fucking just ride, dude? Not tour, just ride your bike.
Well, I mean, I got three Harleys, right?
I know,
So
dude. I know, man. I know you're mad in your
yeah.
riding,
Yeah,
dude.
so I was like a little bit of knowledge here. Like I had my first mini bike at 5, 6 years old.
Yep.
I had my first Yamaha 60 at like I think 7, 8 years old. I got it in the desert. In the Christmas morning, we were out in the desert. They gave me my new bike. I've been riding my whole life and
No.
had my first street Harley at 18, another one at 20, 22. Now, when I married Anastasia, we've got three sons, right? And she had kind of said to me, "Hey, like you're already got crazy in you, right? And I know you've been riding all your life, but why don't we kind of keep it safe?" So what had happened was a few years ago, I said, "Look, kids are grown. I almost died twice. You've had cancer. Like two things need to happen. My Great Dane and my Doberman died 3 years ago, the same year." I said, two things need to happen because she's like, three things actually. She's like, "I need to see you happy." And I said, "Cool. Three things need to happen. I need to write the album of my lifetime with DevilDriver. I need to get past what had gone on in the past, which I easily did. I need to get a dog, and here's a picture of one, right? He's a puppy. The Malibu wildfires are happening. They're not taking the puppies, they're taking all the dogs. I'm driving today to get this dog to LA from LA. And take a look at this. These are the bikes I want. I'm going tomorrow morning after we pick up the puppy. I'm buying not one, but two bikes. And that's that. Right. And so she looked at me and goes, "Yeah, I'm into it." Right. And I'll never forget the first morning on the bike, I was strapping her up and I was teaching her how to tie her helmet. Right. And she's got leathers on, she's got chaps on, she's got leathers, she's got something across her face.
I looked good.
Yeah, she looked
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Right.
damn.
Right. Yeah. See that she's sitting right here, right? And I put her on the bike and we went up this hill and into this fog bank in these mountains on a 2-lane road where we didn't see another car for
Beautiful.
45 minutes. Turned around, came home, and she said, she got off the bike. I put it on the kickstand. She came running, gave me a big hug with her helmet on. We like bumped helmets. And I had to kind of tell her, like, "Hey, you got to take your helmet off before we do this because we just, right?" And she said, "I can do that every day of my life."
Beautiful.
Right. And so
True story.
true story, right?
That's beautiful.
I'm an incredibly safe rider. And
He's been riding since he was a kid.
yeah, I've been
so-
riding since I was a young kid. And I'm a member of the Widow Sons
Yep.
riders. You got to be a Mason in good standing in your Blue Lodge to be in the Widow Sons. There's probably 100,000+ of us worldwide. And we're not an MC diamond culture. We're a riders association that does a lot of charity work. A lot. I mean, for orphans and for widows,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And it's incredible where when we go to our meetings, everybody that's riding up is a Mason, but all look like you don't want to fuck around, right? And then to sit down and the conversations that are going on in those monthly meetings are, okay, how much money do we raise for this? How much money do we raise for this people? Okay, are you going to the older folks home, the Masonic homes? Who's going there? Okay, who's going to take lead in Blue Lodge here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got a degree work here, a degree work there. It's a mandatory ride here to this charity, and it's incredible. That's why I put the Widow Sons in my video because they're
Yeah.
just the best guys I've ever met. And what I was always told as a Mason is this: when you get into Masonry, it's a high echelon of guys doing good works. But when you get into the Widow Sons, it's a way higher echelon of that charity workers, which is true, which, the dedication is unreal, right? When we have a sanctioned event, if you miss it for charity, you're going to pay a fine, and that fine is going right to charity.
Parody.
And
That's
it's
good.
because put your body in the work. Put your body in the work of man, right? And it's funny, right? Because I read so many conspiracy theories about what Freemasons are, and You know, it's actually hilarious to me. This could be an hour and a half conversation. Like, oh, they're Satanists. It's like, well, it's funny. I put my hand on the Bible and I pray. I personally pray about 30 times a day. So to a higher power, right? And I always say it doesn't matter what you believe, just believe in a higher power. Plus, prayer is a positive thing in your life,
Yes.
right? End of story.
Yeah.
Even if you think you're just praying to the clouds or what have you, right?
It's sharing that burden.
Put it out there to the universe,
Yeah.
what you want, what you know, and I don't mean I want $1 million. Like it should always be, how can I get closer to that energy of the universe? That's my first prayer. How can I get closer to the energy of the universe? Second is, how can I dedicate more to my family? Please watch over my family. And the third is always, how can I do more for my fellow man? And believe me, I've been through so much in life that and been kicked a shitload that I don't even know how I have this in me. But the more you get kicked, the more you want to give back.
I know,
That's
dude.
that's the correct assimilation of those things, I think. Those emotions, I should say. Right? So yeah, I love writing. I tell my wife two things. If you can't find me, I'm in the studio or I'm outside with my Harleys, possibly listening to Leonard Skinner having an NA beer. Like, you know, like you know, you might walk in the garage hearing AC/DC Back in Black, and I may be sitting there with an NA beer with my feet kicked up on my bike because, okay, here's a good one. I told my wife, you don't understand. The garage hasn't smelled the same for me since I was a kid. And she never understood that. The garage doesn't smell the same with stuff in it, cars in it. You put motorcycles in a garage, open the door and smell what that fucking smells like. That's the most intoxicating fucking thing. I mean, we're actually going riding tonight after we love to ride sundown. It's one of my favorite times.
Yeah.
So already she's got her leathers and everything out, you know, and she's like, you know, she's polishing her face because we wear full face masks and stuff. And yeah, I said, cool, you ready? She's like, I'm born ready, man. Like, let's go, baby.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Des. I better let you get out and do some riding, mate. It's been an absolute honor. I mean it, mate. You guys are heading back to Australia this July alongside Cradle of Filth. Everybody grab their tickets now before it sells out. Mate, I'll
Yeah,
catch you
we're
down under.